Look, I'm just gonna say this. If you were going to tell me that this was going to be one of the most intriguing cloud gaming devices of 2021, yeah, definitely would have called you a liar.
Are you listening?
Welcome back to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant, and before we dive into today's show, do me a favor, hit that like button, and if it's your first time here, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. The Nerf Report is quickly becoming one of the leading outlets for all things cloud gaming. Google Stadia, Amazon Luna, Xbox Cloud Gaming, and GeForce Now. We are posting awesome videos about platforms just like these twice a day, and you do not want to miss out on any of that. Just like today's show, which is about Nintendo. And a question that I've been asking myself quite a bit lately.
Has Nintendo been secretly planning a hostile takeover of the world of cloud gaming?
And granted, it might not have been that specific, but Nintendo has been making some very interesting moves, like not releasing a next-gen Nintendo Switch Pro. That kind of stuff makes me wonder, is Nintendo bound for the clouds? Because let's face it, as far as cloud gaming goes, Nintendo is definitely the platform to benefit the most from it. PlayStation and Xbox respectfully sell consoles that are more than capable of running next-gen quality games. Whereas with Nintendo's main console, the Nintendo Switch, it struggles in the hardware department, which has resulted in many developers avoiding a Nintendo Switch release for their game. And look, I want to be as clear as possible. This is not one of those, the helicopters are coming, the government is turning us into frogs, and the leaders of the free world are lizard people, wake up sheeple type of theory. This is something, for the most part, Nintendo is already embracing. Like originally, we knew that Nintendo was using cloud streaming to test the waters with games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Resident Evil 7 running in Japan. But then Nintendo extended that cloud offering to include games like Remedy Entertainment's Control and IO Interactive's Hitman 3. And for me, Nintendo Cloud Gaming really established itself by getting Control to run on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, Control was a game that made my PlayStation 4 sound like a freaking fighter jet getting ready to take off for war. It definitely ran well on my PlayStation 4. However, when Control was streaming to my Nintendo Switch, it made me realize that the cloud-based future for Nintendo is well within the realms of possibility here. Because Control, running on the Nintendo Switch, felt extremely similar to my experience on PlayStation. And a cloud-based future for Nintendo really does open the floodgates of what is possible with the Nintendo Switch. Like back in 2018, former Nintendo executive Reggie Fils-Aimé stated that he wanted to see Red Dead Redemption 2 running on the Nintendo Switch. And admittedly, I laughed at that and said,
There is zero chance that the Nintendo Switch could ever run a game like that.
But fast forward 4 years, thanks to the power of cloud gaming, we might see a day where that is possible. All right, so let's rewind for a second and dive into the question of what is cloud gaming? TLDR, cloud gaming allows games that previously might have been restricted by the Nintendo Switch hardware to be streamed to the Nintendo Switch from a data center. More specifically, a Nintendo Switch owner connects their Switch to the Wi-Fi. That device communicates directly to the Nintendo Cloud Gaming servers, which then stream gameplay directly back to the Nintendo Switch. And the potential is limitless, as these cloud games are being run on servers that have far superior hardware than the Nintendo Switch. When cloud gaming works, your experience should be no different than streaming videos from services like Netflix. Whereas previously, without cloud gaming, we would have assumed that in order to get Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Nintendo Switch, it would require users to go and buy a brand new next-gen model of the Switch, or the developer would have to dumb down the game so much that you lose what made that game unique to begin with. But what cloud gaming services like Google Stadia, Amazon Luna, and GeForce Now have proven is that games like Red Dead Redemption 2 can easily be streamed from the cloud to any device like a tablet, smartphone, Chromebook, TV stick, or personal computer. Hell, I got Red Dead Redemption 2 to stream to my Oculus Quest via Google Stadia, and it ran extremely well. And this is where I get to the point that I think Nintendo has some very big plans for Nintendo Cloud streaming. I mean, since the initial test, Nintendo has announced cloud versions of games like A Plague Tale: Innocence, A Plague Tale: Requiem, Phantasy Star Online 2, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and the entire Kingdom Hearts series. We started with just 2 games, and that has quickly expanded to a total of 12 games. And for me, as a gamer who has fully embraced cloud gaming, I can't help but be excited about the idea that Nintendo could further embrace cloud technology. Like, I know this is a long shot here, but I would love to see Nintendo offer cloud versions of their first-party games as well. Like, we don't need a Game Pass service here that offers the entire Nintendo library for one monthly cost, but having the ability to eliminate the need for larger storage, load times, along with being able to stream Mario to whatever device I own would be sick. But on the flip side, being someone who has covered Nintendo for quite a bit, I fully understand that Nintendo games on other devices is kind of one of the last forbidden doors in the gaming industry. But that being said, I think Nintendo is fully aware of the potential here. Take Super Mario Run, which for the most part was Nintendo's first test of a mobile game. Super Mario Run was downloaded 40 million times in its first 4 days. In comparison, it took Nintendo 33 months to sell 48 million Nintendo Switches. Imagine how fast a cloud version of Breath of the Wild would sell on Android or iOS devices. Think about how many subscriptions Nintendo could sell if they had a cloud version of Pokemon available to you on any device that you own. A cloud gaming future for Nintendo not only lowers the barrier of entry for a brand new audience, but it also eliminates the need for Nintendo to constantly be upgrading new hardware just to stay 2 steps behind the competition. It's a win-win for everyone. Nintendo gets a much larger audience, resulting in far more money, and internally they don't have to worry about the R&D costs to build new hardware. I mean, I for one would love to see Nintendo embrace cloud gaming more, but what do you all think? Are you excited about Nintendo's cloud gaming plans? Which game would you like to see added to Nintendo Cloud streaming? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hey, thanks again for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content just like it, which who wouldn't, hit the subscribe button right there. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Maybe even consider becoming a Nerf Report best friend, just like the people listed down below did. In fact, don't you want to see your name there? I know I do.